Hello there, listeners. Here is Maya speaking from Klil, northern Israel. Today is February 23, and today I want to speak about the perception of the other side, you can say. Um, Maybe I will start with reminding that in my general perspective, I don't see humanity as naturally divided to nations or sides or anything like that. I think we're in our most natural essence, we're a network of connections and not groups of people. But in the social reality that is surrounding me, and people are divided by different leadership, by different language, by just walls and fences and by papers. People are divided to different groups, and generally it's makes a certain sense to speak about the Israeli side and the Palestinian side in this essence. I just reminding that I see those as artificial essence, all those fences and walls and papers and avoiding of learning each other language and stuff like this. This is artificial uh, separations between people, but there are creating two different groups that you can look at as two sides of the story. And as for me, I was born and grew up in the area of the Galil in northern western Israel, or as the other side people will say, north and western Palestine. Whatever its names, I don't really care about the names, honestly, personally. But then, anyway, this is where I was born, and I was born within the Israeli reference of the Israeli state and the Hebrew language and all that. And now, so this is my immediate perspective, is the Israeli perspective, you can say. Now, I have a friend from Europe, a European friend, that asked me, what do I think is the best solution for the Palestinian people in Gaza now that their homes have been destroyed completely by the IDF, and after living uh, under terror, um, under lots of violence for the last year, being refugees again and again, having their home destroyed. What do you think is the best solution for them? My friend asked me, and I think she was referring the exile plan of Donald Trump. That said, well, this place is messed up. Those people cannot live here. They have to get we have to take them somewhere else to live, because here it's not a place for anyone to live. This is the Trump plan. Then against it, I think I heard it was, I think, an Egyptian like um, I don't know, someone from the Egyptian government or something like that. Some kind of an Arab person was saying in the news that he think the best solution for the Gazian people is put them back in their original home in Palestine, where today is Israel. Um, and yeah, I guess it makes sense from that perspective. Those people were exiled from certain land back in 1948, and it's quite rationalized to think that well, just bring them back to the place that they were exiled from in the first place. It is, I see it as make more logical sense than put them in a whole different place. Um, but is it practical? Is it is it practical? Does it have capability of happening? I think that is an important question. When I look at a group of people that been suffer and exile and their home been destroyed and all that, I think I'm asking myself, what is the best thing for the children, for the children, not for the old people and adults that have their memories and ideas about what they want and what will be best and what they're hoping for. No, what will practically will be the best thing for the children to make them stop suffering. And I think, yeah, the idea of fighting to go back to the original land of Palestine is it's very likable that it will bring all those children to be messed up in another generation of fighting and suffering. So from my perspective, I can say that it seems to make sense to bring the Gaza people to Egypt, into Jordan, or to other Arabic countries. It makes sense in my perspective in the way that if I put myself in the shoes of a Gaza of a or Gazic person. I think, well, I will be happy for a boat to take me anywhere away from this terrible place and this terrible war. This is how I imagine that, but putting myself in the shoes of a Gazan person, it's an imaginary practice. I cannot really put myself in the shoes of a Gazan person. Um, I cannot really see the full vision and the full perspective of that other side person. And that is important thing to remember. I think this is the best answer for my European friend that asked me, what do I think will be the best thing for the Gaza people? I can give you my answer, my like imagine practice answer, but in order to have a really good answer for that, I will have to ask a Gazan person and see what do they want. What do they think will be the best for them? Is it to live to another Arab country, to try and recover in the ruins of Gaza, or to continue fight and fight and fight against the Israel state, hope with the hope of I don't know, what is their hope? And in this way, in this point, I want to take this hypothetical camera of this episode and turn it upside down and thinking or asking, what do the Palestinian people think that will be the best solution for the Israeli people? Because many Palestinian people want the Israel state to be destroyed and the Israeli people to not be in this land in order to create the state of Palestine in the same place, right? So, what do they want to do with the Israeli people? Well, if you ask an Israeli person, what do the Palestinians want to do with the Israeli people? I guess they will say they want to massacre us all. They want to kill everyone. Yeah, there is a common saying in Israel that the Arabs want to throw us to the sea, because Israel is by the seaside. So if you push people away from the land, they go into the sea. So that's a very common thought, a very common idea that the Palestinians want to throw all the Israelis to the sea or just to massacre us all. And I have to say, it's make a lot of sense to me to think that many Palestinians want that, and it's a very scary thing. It's very, very scary to live on a land thinking that millions of people around you want to massacre you. Yeah, but do they? Is that their idea? Because again, if you look in the other side, I think if you ask a Palestinian person, what do the Israeli want to do with you, maybe they will also say the Israeli people want to massacre us all. It's also make sense in a way. But when I talk with the right wing Israeli people that are very patriotic, and I ask them, do you want to massacre all the Palestinians? I think it's very common that they will say like, no, no, we're not violent people. We don't want to massacre them. We want them just to go away. And that's different. I think that's different to want to massacre someone and want them to go away. And I think it's, I don't know, it's all hypothetical thought, yeah, but I'm thinking it's very likable that if I ask like many Palestinians, what do you want to happen with the Israeli people? Maybe many of them will say, We want them just to go away. We don't want any blood. We don't want any suffer. We just want them to go away. And the reason that I'm putting that up is it's because I've watched today a video that was shooted by Hamas showing Israeli hostages doing like speaking, and it's obviously it's stuff that the Hamas told them to say. So they speak the words of Hamas, the hostages. Quite a hideous video, I gotta say, but I find it very curious what they said there. They made the hostages said say where their ancestors came from. You know, like one hostages say, "My grandmother came from Turkey." One of them say, "My grandfather came from Iraq," because it's true. It's true. Israeli people are people that almost all of us, like a generation ago or 2 generation ago, our ancestors came from all over the world. You know, Europe. South Africa. My father was born in South Africa, or in India, China, everywhere. People came to Israel. So it was interesting to me to see in this video that the Hamas shoot the hostages, that they made the hostages said, one of the hostages, he said in the video, obviously the word that were written by Hamas, he said, "I don't know why my grandfather came here. I think we all need to go back to where we came from, each one to their own land. Like, okay, my ancestors came from Morocco, so I think we just need to go back to Morocco." And I'm thinking, wow, is this the solution that the Palestinian are wishing for the Israeli people, to just go back to where our ancestors come from? Maybe. I guess some of them will like that. Probably some of them will like to massacre everyone. Probably maybe some of them want to live peacefully together. And the same thing for the Israeli people. Same thing. I think both Israelis and Palestinians, I guess you can find people that want just everyone to live peacefully together. I guess you can find people that want to massacre everyone in the other side. And I guess you can find many people, maybe even the majority, who knows, that want the other kind of people to just go away. Now I'm getting to the point that I want to make, and that's what I want to say in this episode. That I think all of us, no matter in which side you are, need to remember that you can imagine yourself in the other person's shoes, but you cannot put yourself there. And anyway, when you try to think from the other person perspective, you need to gather as much as information you can have about his situation. For example, when Hamas people say Israeli people just need to go back to the places that their ancestors came from, that's a trouble for me because I don't have any other ID card. If I go to Europe, I can stay there for what, like 3 months? I cannot go to Europe and live there, even though my ancestors came from Europe. I cannot go to South Africa. I don't have South African identity. I have only Israeli identity. So even if I want to go away, I'm in a problem. It's not that simple, you see. Um, I don't know if the Hamas people know that. They wrote in this, they have this ceremony that they're doing every time that they're releasing hostages, that they put them on a stage and they write on the stage all kind of sentences that they want to bring up to I guess, to the Israeli people, many of them, because they're written in Hebrew. So one of the messages that were written on the stage where 6 hostages were released in the last Saturday, uh, great thing, is that they wrote something, all of they wrote the land, meaning the land of Palestine, know her sons. All the people with the double identity need to go away, like people that hold Israeli passport and USA passport, Israeli passport and European passport. There are many of them. So it seems that the Hamas put some thought in that. They thought, what do we want all those Israeli people to do while we're building Palestine where they're living? And they said to themselves, well, they all have double identity. They can just go and live somewhere else. But this idea is missing information. And the information that it's missing, well, first is that people are connected with the land and they have their life here, which is very important, you know. Second is that most people here now born in this land, yeah,